going with all of us figuring this out. So at the bottom of your page, you can hit a like, or you can even make a comment in the little bar at the bottom, so at least I know who's here today. Hi, everybody. Aw, it's good to at least see your names come up. I miss your faces. One of my favorite things one of my dear friends says is, I miss your face. So all of you out there, I miss your faces. We're going to have a practice today that's an all-level flow, and I wanted to start off by being in a mood of just being grateful, starting off with Leanna and how she has given us this platform to practice together and still share our yoga practice. Thank you so much, Four Corners, Leanna. You're so special, and we appreciate you. And likewise, I appreciate all of you showing up today, and let's get going on our practice. I'm going to have us take a seat on our mat when you're ready. At any time during the practice, you can always take a moment and hit the like button if something really floated your boat today. And I do appreciate any feedback afterwards. So if you're able to, after, maybe send me some feedback, and that way we can continue to improve the quality of how this goes. So uncharted territory for me. This is live number 2, and I've learned a little bit almost immediately from the first one. So let's see if it doesn't go a little better than day 1 did. So welcome yourself to your mat. This is a practice that will be all levels, so I will be giving you modifications, and you're always welcome to add whatever is in your practice, your modifications. And we always start in our breath, bringing ourselves that quality of sensation of breathing in and out. If you can, you'll try to breathe in and out in your nasal passages here, just to increase the quality of information your body and mind are receiving. Try closing your eyes if you're comfortable and sitting up tall. Address your posture, see how you feel. Adjust a little bit, and then just rest your hands face down on your knees, and again, arrive again and again through your breath. If you would like, place one of your hands at your lower belly and the other hand above the heart, and see if you can practice receiving the breath more fully now, expressing, expanding fully in the lower belly, and then letting the breath rise to the top hand before gently releasing with control. So this expanded or diaphragmatical breath allows you a better experience, more full and complete breath, and it moves into more of the space of the body, allowing you to expand not just the breath, but your experience here. So let's continue nice deep breaths, filling up the lower hand first, feeling it push away from center, and then feeling the finish of our inhale gently touch the top hand and let go. Let's go ahead with 2 more full breaths. Take your time. Let all your focus, your attention come inward as you breathe in and out. When you're done, place Place your hands in front of your heart. Let's talk about moving into an intention today. Today I'd like us to move forward with our first practice. I asked you to focus on what felt good in your practice, your postures, your breath, and continue that. Continue looking for the good as you move today, but let's add on a focus of flexibility, of intention with our perspective. I remember teaching a few classes with the theme perspective and asking my students to get out of their usual little homes in the room, their corners, and pick up their mats and literally move. Wasn't so well received by everybody, but the idea was that we aren't always in charge, and we really are only in charge of how we move through a challenge, or even move through something that's pleasant. And so obviously our mats are all moved today, a much bigger change than I could have even imagined. And so hopefully we're learning that to move into wherever we are with a sense of grace and power. And let's take another breath and move on. Let's bring our hands over our heads, still together and connected. Take a full breath once you reach the top and gaze up brightly, eyes wide open, and then let your elbows fall back nice and soft through the spine, dropping your shoulder blades. Come up through center, gathering at the heart all the way up. Look up, and then the exhale brings the shoulders relaxed down through center. And let's do that one more time, everybody, all the way up. And take it down through center. Easy twists are next. Remember, these seated poses are yours, so if you need to make an adjustment or a modification with your legs, please feel free to do that. I'm in easy cross-leg pose, but just come into the pose that works for you as we come into these easy twists right to left. The next time you swing to the right, I'll have you stay there holding on with your left hand and lifting that right hand up high as you gaze up. Take a moment and exhale over to the left side of your room. Nice big deep breath here. Open up those shoulders and then release. And let's try it to the other side. Big twist, look over your shoulder, nice tall back. Holding on with your right hand, lift your left, look up brightly. And then lean it over to the opposite side of the room. Feel this in your shoulders. Try to give yourself a room to breathe into them. And then we'll release. Good. Hands over your head, full sweep. And then we'll come into cactus and hold. And then let's just expand out, bringing our thumbs behind us with our next deep breath. And then gathering the hands in front of the heart as we exhale. Inhale, pull open, look up, feel that expanded version of your chest, and then draw in, dropping your head and the heart back to the spine. Let's do it just one more time. Inhale, and then exhale. I'm going to change to cobbler pose, soles of my feet together. Any pose is fine. Let's just do a forward fold when you're ready. Easy, soft edges, letting your head hang. And I'm going to ask you to swing that head gently right to left, even shifting your body weight from hip to hip. Press the soles of the feet together, rise up, extend the arms out nice and brightly, and then come into a side bend, dropping your left elbow as you reach your right arm over your head, looking up, and then inhaling up into the other side. And let's try it one more time to each side. Use your breath to inspire your movement. Inhaling and exhaling to a side bend. Good, all the way up with both arms. Let's just turn our wrists around up here and hold a tight lift in the lower belly to support that lower back. And then I'm going to have you bring your hands down to the floor. Press into the mat and drop your head to the left so you can feel the right side of the neck open up. And if you can, on your next breath, lift the chin, still leaning to the left, but looking up with the eyes and the chin. Beautiful. Let's just tumble the head all the way down, and then slowly take the left ear away from the left hand, right ear hovering over the shoulder. Press down with your fingers and feel the left neck open up. On your next breath, lift your chin, look up at the ceiling. Finish up one more breath, and then we'll let our head tumble down. Good. I'm going to have you bring your feet apart, knees bent. Place your hands behind you on the mat, posting up here, and then lift off your tailbone to a nice extended spine. Some of you might need to move your feet further away from you. And then drop your knees to the right and take your hands over to the right corner of your mat and look all the way to the back of the room. So both knees have landed, ankles are relaxed. Push into your right hand and lift your left arm in a big stretch to the back of the room. And then maybe press down with your shin bones and lift the tailbone, opening up into a stretch. Remember, every pose is optional. Every breath is consistent and present. Release that left arm, come back to center, flatten the feet, take a breath, come back onto your sits bones off the tailbone, and then drop the knees to the left. Right hand comes over to the left as well. Prop up those hands and look all the way to the back of the room with extension on your spine. Good, and then pick up your right arm and reach over your head to the back of the room. Pressing down with your left hand, roll onto your shins, lifting your tailbone. Big stretch in your hips and your lower back. Should feel good. Again, most of these poses are meant to find some space that might be feeling a little limited. So we always want to ease into some of these stretches rather than 100%. Drop that right arm. Let's come back to center. Prop your fingers up again, and let's just do a few seated windshield wipers here. Just flowing right to left. So today we're going to move and again have lots of levels for you to choose from. If you are so inclined, we're even going to have a little jumping today because I think it's a good idea to feel a little playful and have some fun to eliminate some of that stress that might be in your body. Good. I'm going to come back to the center, take a full breath. And then let's go ahead and just make our way into table position. Let's get ready to move a little more. I today have a blanket underneath my knees for extra padding. Feel free to use whatever you need. A beach towel works well if you don't have a yoga blanket. And then I have a block so when my arms don't quite feel like they're long enough today. Right now we're just moving organically right to left, swinging our hips. Nice deep breaths here. I'm going to shift and face you and stay in table, bringing my thumbs together. Let's bring the knees out a little wider, maybe about the same width as your shoulders. And I'm going to have you pick up your right arm and look at the ceiling with a big glance up. Beautiful. Threading the needle, taking that right arm underneath the left and landing maybe as low as onto your right ear. And then stretching the left hand toward the top of your mat. Just take a deep breath into your shoulder blades as we remain here for another round of breath. Slide the left hand back in front of your face. Lift the right hand back up to a beautiful open twist. And then we'll bring our thumbs back together in table. Knees are still wide. Let's do the other side. Here we go. Left arm up, big breath. Feel really bright as you open up here. We'll thread on the other side. Left arm underneath right, landing on your left shoulder and ear. And just pressing gently your body weight down into that left shoulder. Some of you might like stretching that right arm all the way out to the top of the mat, pushing down. Continue your breathing. One more full breath. And then let's place our hand right back in front of our face. Push down. When you're ready, take a breath and lift up to that beautiful open twist again. Good. Take it on down. We're going to bring our big toes together, maybe knees wider. Some of you certainly can. And then I just want you to push back with strong arms. So shoulders down, arms strong. Push back over your heels, knees wide. Some of you can take it even a little deeper, lowering the spine, extending the arms out in front of you, and bringing your forehead to the mat. Continue to push back at whatever level feels appropriate for you and your hips. And then engage the core to bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. Let's all press down into the tops of our feet, engage the core, and try to lift your knees off the floor. Once they're up, swing them in towards each other, and we're coming back into table position. So here we go. Let's take on some cow-cat breathing, extended tailbone and head as the belly drops and fills with breath. Exhale into cat. And I'm going to ask you to continue this at your own pace, feeling free to organically move if your body is asking you to reach into some spaces that just a linear cow-cat doesn't reach. Some of you might enjoy a barrel roll, which I'm doing now. And you're just going to take a nice liberal lift up over the top to cat and then out to the side and then drop. If you're doing the barrel roll, it's time to switch. You'll pause at the top and then drop. Again, let your neck and jaw feel loose as you continue. One more breath, moving however it feels good to you, and then we'll all come back to table. I'm going to wake up our cores now. Curl your toes under, sit back over those feet for a nice stretch, and then extend your hands maybe one more step forward. You're coming forward on your next breath into knee plank. Feel your core. Don't let your hips slide down. Keep them nice and aligned with the back. And then exhale, pulling the hips as far back over your heels as you can. So every breath is around lifting you forward. Strong core, sending your hips back into a stronger, straighter back. Let's try that 2 more times, just waking up the core, preparing. After this next one, I'll ask you to either come into a more challenging pose instead of knee plank, full plank. So again, you're welcome to stay in knee plank. If you're in full plank with me, we're going to stay here. And everybody's going to practice creating a stronger breath when we become challenged. So inhale and exhale again. If you can, you're keeping your breath in the nasal passages. Good, and then if you can, let's just drop our right knee down right below our hip and lift that left leg up in the air, and then lift your gaze to the top of the wall in front of you. Good, I'm going to have you bend that left knee now and bring it even higher, extending the left knee, opening the hip to the ceiling, and trying to drop that left foot further to the right. Good, extend the leg back out, drop the toes and push through the heel as you drop your head. Nice stretch. Challenge is to lift the right knee and hold here. 2 breaths. Remember that right knee can be down. And then drop the right knee and we're coming into a side balance. So as you press down with your right shin, lower your left heel. And then that left arm will slowly come onto your holding of the shoulder and pulling the elbow towards the front of your room. Pushing down with your left heel. When you're ready to take your next breath, extend the left arm all the way forward and breathe. Swing that arm around freely a few times. This is a really nice, loose, soft movement. And when you're ready, maybe balance with me, looking up, lifting your left hand brightly, and taking an opportunity to lift your left leg Knee is straight if you can. Push out the sole of the left foot and look up. I'm going to remind you to breathe and then notice where this feels good. Some of you might like to follow in a bind here. Bend the left knee, grab that ankle with your left hand, and then kick the foot towards the back of the room, opening up just a bit more throughout that whole left body. And maybe turn your gaze forward. Returning to the balance, and then dropping that left hand. Let's keep our left leg all the way to the back of the room and try lifting your right arm. So this is a great pose for moving into the back muscles, creating more strength and balance along the spine. Gazes forward, deeper breathing. Try to straighten that left knee. Right hand can be down on the floor if you need the modification. Drop your right hand, swing the foot to the right side of your mat, and then let's just take a brief look over our right shoulder to our foot. Good. Child's pose, take your time, slide on down. Toes are pointed now. Take a moment to walk your hands a little further away from you and press into the floor. Spread those fingers out, press into the pads of the fingers, and then let's lift the wrists for a nice stretch while we're here. Higher up on the wrists, firmer onto the pads of the fingers. Crown of the head is reaching to your thumbs. Good. Second round of knee plank to child's pose. If you want a stronger practice, instead of knee plank, full plank, and instead of child's pose, down dog with extended spine. So our breath brings us forward to plank, your choice. Exhale back to either child's pose or down dog. Exhale. Think of your focus of strength being right there at the mid-trunk, feeling really strong as you breathe forward and back. Just continue these as long as you can until I bring us back down into our plank. So you have time for one more. Let's all hold plank. Again, knee plank is your option. We're looking for that strong breath that helps us to move through the challenge more gracefully. And then we'll lower our left knee right below our left hip. And then lift the right leg up and look up with extension. Nice deep breath, should feel good. Let's bend the right knee and bring that knee and right foot higher. Keep going until you can't anymore. Right knee as high as you can. Right foot over to the left side of your hip. Full extension. Feel that range of motion. And then extend the leg and drop the toe. Push through your heel, drop your head. Challenge if you'd like to add. Lift that left knee up against the chest and breathe in this mountain climber hold. Shoulder blades remain in place, flat on the spine. Last breath, you're doing great. Lower that left knee. And then let's come on to our right heel. And then lift your right hand slowly as you balance, bringing your right hand onto your shoulder and extending the right elbow forward toward the front of the room. Push down with your right heel. And when you're ready, that right arm is going to extend all the way out in front of you. Feel that great length on your right body. Followed by some loose circles of your right arm. Take your time. Nice and loose. It should feel really good to you. Add a balance if you want. Looking up, straight right arm, extended, lifted right leg. Again, keep those shoulder blades flat, core breaking. That breath in and out. And then maybe a bind. Bend the right knee, grab the ankle, kicking back. And some of you might even change your gaze. Feel that stretch as you kick the foot away from you and draw your chin in the opposite direction. Let's try one more breath here. Coming back into our extended arm and leg, and then down to the floor, flatten the spine, extend the right leg, and maybe lift your left arm. Again, you can always choose to modify left hand down. Good, take another breath, gazes forward, lift those eyes. And then the right foot's gonna swing to the left side of the mat, left hand is down, and you're gonna go ahead and bend at the waist and look for your foot. Soften into those outer hips. And let's come into child's pose. Good, so hopefully everybody felt like they moved in, warmed their bodies. Child's pose, let's rock right to left. Just enjoy some space in your lower back. Let's come into our first squat. Curl your toes under and roll onto them. At the back of the mat, knees are narrow, arms are on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and face you. So a little switch there. Hi again. Hopefully you're feeling like you've moved into your body successfully. We're going to get into a little more powerful movement next, so please be mindful, stay present, do what you do. So if there's modifications, you're always welcome to take them. As we try to remain here, I want you to work on your spine. Maybe your fingers are going to start getting lighter on the mat, and you can come all the way over your head, or any positioning that works for you. When we're in a challenge, we tend to hold our breath, so be mindful to breathe in and out. Forward fold is next. Control the lowering of the hands, and then bow your head into a deep fold. Let's just bend one knee and then the other. Start to swing the upper body. Heel toe the feet out a bit, and then a loose swing right to left. Always feels so good to just take a nice loose movement of the torso as you relax it. Some of you will probably even hold your elbows and swing here. Inhale and exhale. Nice work, everybody. Fingers on the floor, you're in a wide stance. Bring your heels in a little, toes pointed out and spread. Bend the knees and let's slide our elbows onto our thighs. So I'm going to ask you just to rock your hips behind you, right to left. We're going to be getting into some leg work, and I want you to feel nice and open. Come into a deeper squat when you're ready. It might require that you bring your feet a little narrower, and if you can, all the way down. So modifiers, you'll stay right up where we were. And then we might try a few rounds of reaching behind with extended arms onto the floor as the other arm extends behind you. So just loosen up here. Feel free to move in a way that works for you as we get into some strong work in our legs next. Good. When you're ready, you're back into your squat. Arms are inside of the knees. Let's take a moment to extend our spine, head all the way up, hands together, pressing firmly into the heart. And then we're all going to rise. So press down with your feet now, fire your core, try not to drop your head and lift up. Nice stretch. Star is next. Expand both arms, both legs. If you want, tilt the head back and really go for that beautiful expanded breath here. Good. One more. Take it even brighter. And then our hands are going to come into our hearts. Good. Swing a nice breath in just to clear as we come into a flow. Step to the top of your mat. If you're not there yet, feet are hip width apart. And I'm going to just have you start with some flowing work of breath. So taking this as deep as you can, followed by nice lifts as far back as those hands will go. So we're going to count out 3 more of these. Again, your range of motion feels good to you. As you come into your next squat, I'm going to have you keep your arms behind you. Reach for the back of the room and settle into the deepest squat you can. Inhale to your back bend, touching the floor first, thumbs all the way back, and then release the arms behind you. Mountain pose, pause, press into your feet, bring your arms over your head, deep breath and into your heart. Let's do that one more time. Hands over your head, bright lift, feel it, and a soft spine back to your fold. Half lift, look out in front, work on that extension of your back and hamstrings. Drop down and step back to down dog. Let's pedal here. 2 breaths. Coming back to plank, your modification. Maybe adding chaturanga if you're ready. Up dog or cobra. So if your up dog is a little too soon for you, please feel free to come into cobra. And we're all going to roll on our hips right to left, looking over our shoulders if that feels good in your hips. Bending the elbows if it's too extreme. And then a nice lift again at the center with a breath. And let's roll it down. Push all the way back to child's pose and return to down dog. Traveling to the top of the mat. First time I'm going to recommend those short steps, striking your heels. Take your time. When you arrive, let's come into a half lift, full breath, looking to the top of the room. Down into a fold. Half lift again and come into that squat with your arms behind you. We were here before. So how deep can you go? Push the tailbone back. Keep the spine in extension. Inhale to a full lift all the way back with those hands and then a big release. Good. Swing up and all the way into the squat. 3 more. Push down with your feet. Exhale. 2 more. The next time these will be jumps. 1 more. And hold your squat. Good. Chairs next. Bring your hands over your head. Lift your gaze forward. And again, how deep can you go in your squat today? Engage the core. Small tuck of the tailbone. Not much. Just enough that you know your pelvic floor is supporting you. And then a swan dive. Open up the arms. Flat back. And drop to the floor with your hands. Let's add a step back with our right leg. Glide forward and back. Just enjoy some of that motion before finding a runner's lunge. So I'm going to add the block under my right hand. Feel free if you have one to use it today. Good. Runner's lunge is powerful, so press down more firmly with your feet and engage the core. Some of you are going to stay here. Others of you are going to try that extension back here. Try to even the weight in both legs. And then everybody drop the right knee down. Hands over the head. Crescent moon. Find that extension in your back. And then spill the hips slightly forward with an engaged core. Hands to the heart. Twist to the left and drop your right elbow. Looking over your head. Windmill those hands back over your head, and then open to the right side, extending the arms like you're trying to hug that side of the room. Drop your right hand, lift your left arm, and stretch back. Beautiful breath here. Again, the core needs to be there, engaged, helping you support your lower back. Windmill the arms down again. We're going to be stepping forward. So maybe take your block back out in front of you. Push off your back toes to a fold. Easy, soft, organic movement here, followed by a half lift. Exhale down and let's step the left leg back. In your lunge, just glide again, forward and back. How does that feel? One hip on mine always seems to have a little more feedback. We're looking for our runner's lunge again. Place your block under your left hand if you're using it today, and then create a more powerful lunge here. Press down with both feet, engage and lift the core, and then maybe add that challenge of both arms back. Open up your shoulders to the back of the room. Flatten the spine. Breathe deep here, everybody. One more round of breath. Top of the left knee comes down, hands swing over your head. Crescent moon. Stay here and enjoy it. What feels good? Inhale and exhale. Good job. Take those arms down, open them up to the right, and try to hug the wall out in front of you. Again, use your breath to find more space in your body. Possible drop of the left fingertips, right arm over your head. Maybe gaze up. Breathe in, find your way into the pose. Make it feel better. Windmill your hands down. Push the block out of the way. Prepare to step forward. Good. Let's bring our feet out about hip width. Bend the knees. Half lift extension here. Drop the hips and hold now. So I want you to get used to how strong you feel with your feet. I am going to take myself right in front of you. And we're going to do the flow of lifting the arms with the big breath out, coming down. But you might add jumps now. Inhale, lift. Even if you come a fraction of an inch off the mat, continue as long as you would like. Taking a break. Let's try 3 more if you're still with me. Jump and have a little fun. 1 more and hold your squat. Wide leg chair. Let's take it as low as you can. Knees are following the toes, everybody. Inhale and exhale, forward fold as you take the breath out. Good job. Heel toe out even wider. Take your toes wider than your heels. Walk your hands over to the right side of your right foot. Tent the hands, bend the left knee, and take a beautiful stretch with your hips leaning to the left. Good, loosen up a bit, bend the knees, walk to the left. Take your hands down here, bend your right knee and lean your hips in a nice comfortable stretch to the right, head looking to the left. Back to the center, heels come in just a little bit, heading towards horse, but before we do, walk your hands back through your legs, press down into flat palms, bend the elbows, bend the knees, and try to bring your head through your legs. Stay here. Find a breath that seems to wrap around the middle of your back, the mid-thoracic spine. Push a little firmer into your hands and your feet. Bend the knees, look forward. Walk your hands out in front of you and then slide your elbows on your thighs. Good, come into a deep squat. And when you're ready, arrive in horse. Nice. So horse is a challenging pose. Again, you're in charge of how challenging this is. So some of us are going to go way down with that tailbone. Some of us are going to keep it up here. Doesn't matter to me, and you know what? I can't see you anyway. I can just imagine what you're doing. So hold horse for another breath in and out. Take it into your challenging squat. And then extension on the arms as high as you can. Some of you might even lift your heels off the floor. And then drop the heels, exhale into horse. So I'm going to have you continue this. Breath in, strong lift, squeeze those legs. Exhale, deep squat. So I'm going to ask you to do that a few more times. Hopefully this is helping you to find a way into a challenge that you're willing to accept and that you can get through. So nothing should feel like it's not possible. I want you to feel like everything is possible. Every discomfort is movable. You can stay present and in your breath. So if you can, 1 more of those and hold that horse. Good. So if you need to take a moment and move me, so you've never been able to move your instructor before, have you? You can take your phone and turn it. So we're going to be staying on the wide side of the mat for a little bit. So if you want to move, if you have your phone out at the top of the mat and move it over, feel free to do that. I'm just going to breathe and challenge myself in horse when you do that. Take a deep breath in and out if you're not. Good. Arms out as wide as you can. Beautiful. I'm going to have you drop your left elbow on your left thigh and move the right arm away from your right foot. Swing that arm down, come back to horse, and then into extended arms. Drop your right elbow down, take your left arm over your head, side bend. Drop your arm, and then let's straighten up and say, ah. Beautiful, hands to your heart. Turn your right toe to the top of your mat. Left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. And when you're ready, come into your first warrior two. Nice, beautiful extension on the arms, a strong bend in the right knee. Again, it's up to you. This can be shallower or much deeper of a lunge. We're going to do some repetition here as well. Right now, I just want you to straighten and bend the right knee. Again, making sure that right kneecap is following your second and third toe. And let's land fully. Look over your front middle finger. Side angle pose when you're ready. So most people are going to place their right elbow on their thigh with an extended left arm. Again, some of you could use your block. Some of you can just take a hand and wrap it around. As we take our next breath, let's float right back into your warrior two. And then peaceful warrior next. Deepen the lunge as you raise your right arm and chest looking up. Good. Notice how good it feels. And then float between the two. Let's exhale into our side angle pose. And inhale into our peaceful warrior. Good. One more time. And hold. Good. Come back into warrior two. Straighten out. Let's try our triangle pose. Extended arms. Look forward. Pull your hips to the back of the room without locking your knees. And lower your hand either on a block or the shins, but a very light laying of the fingers. Challenge is to look up at the ceiling and not fall down. If we fall, it's just about getting up though, because Lord knows I have fallen many times and probably learned the most from getting up. Bend the right knee, come back. Find your pause here or take a block in front of your right foot for half moon. So shorten the stride, left hand on your hip. When you're ready, stack shoulders and arms. Find your way. It could take a couple of tries, and that's okay. Even just practicing what I'm doing right now, for those of you who are just learning half moon. And then when you find it, maybe take that left arm up. And if we're looking for just a bit more fun, bit more of a challenge, let's come into over the moon. Grab that left ankle, kick behind you, and open up, lifting that left knee as high as you can. Warrior two is where we're coming back to when you're ready. Bend the right knee first, extend the left leg. Soft landing, warrior two, and then lower your arms. Let's come back to center and just take a moment to wiggle a little. Arms over your head with a deep breath. And exhale, hinge at the hips and fold. Go ahead and let your upper body swing right to left as we prepare to move into the other side. So you might move your block to the other side of the mat if you're using it. Swing right to left a few times. And when you're ready, arrive in horse. You can take those elbows on your thighs if that was a better option for you. Use your breath work here. Get that squat as low as you can. Bring the tailbone down. Lift the upper belly up towards the heart. Relax your shoulders. One more breath in horse. Reach up for a full extension. And then turn your left toe to the top of the mat. Right toes are parallel to the back of the mat. And you're going to find your warrior two. Just take your time. Kind of make it yummy. When you arrive, feel that power of warrior two. Looking over your front middle finger, bending and unbending that left knee. Using your breath to find that pose even more present in that space of your body. Control another full breath here. Push a little stronger into both feet, dropping the tailbone. And then side angle, left elbow down, right arm over your head. Feel feel that beautiful extension. Some of you can take this much lower. Inhale and exhale. When you're ready, we're coming back into Warrior Two, taking a purposeful breath right here, feeling that power, strong feet on the earth. Peaceful Warrior on your next breath. Take your time, add whatever you like to the pose. And then we'll do a series of 3. Coming back to side angle when you're ready. And then inhaling to Peaceful Warrior. Exhaling to side angle. At your timing, find your breath. Enjoy this. Let's try one more. Warrior Two when you're done. Straightening the left leg, probably welcoming that. Dropping your left hip towards the other side of the room. Triangle pose, here we go. Core is always strong for us here. This is a radiant pose. Make it feel that way to you. Feel your tips of your fingers moving further away from each other. Looking up at the ceiling for the most dramatic feel in the body. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Good, and returning to Warrior Two. All right, so you can just work on your Warrior Two, maybe moving your arms, or maybe shorten the step, getting ready with me to come into half moon. Left hand on your block. Practice just kicking your right foot if you want, or if you can get into the whole pose, stacking the shoulders and the hips. Radiating when you're ready. All 4 limbs are bright and extended along with your spine. Find a gaze point. Maybe take yourself into the bind, right hand over right ankle, over the moon, opening up. Use your breath. We'll all be meeting in Warrior Two when you're ready. One more breath if you're with me still. Bending the left knee and returning. Soft landing, Warrior Two. Nice. Soften, drop your arms, come back to center. Take a full breath here. And hands into the heart. Good. Heel toe your feet underneath you. So it should feel like you're nice and warm. Your body has had a little fun. You've noticed where you feel good, and your breath has accompanied you through every pose, every challenge. Let's just close our eyes for 3 full breaths, hands resting right at your heart. Eyes closed. Soften the breath. Imagine that that lower hand is at your lower belly and you are pushing up against it with those deep breaths. So we're going to take it down to the floor. I'm going to ask you to first come on to your sits bones. It's time to wind down. I'm going to have you come into a straddle. We've been here before. Maybe just come on to your sit bones by moving your muscles away. And then just an easy rocking of your torso right to left. And then let's bring our right foot right up against the left and extend the left arm inside the leg with a stretch over. Stay here or join me in Stargazer. Right hand propped up behind you, left arm up. Roll onto the shins and look as far back as you can. Full breath. Returning, sits bones down. Full straddle. Easy, soft movement right to left. When you're ready, left foot into the right leg. Right arm on the inside of the right leg. And then that left arm over the top. Side stretch. Feel how good that feels. Possibly following me into Stargazer. Left hand behind you, right hand up. Lifting the tailbone off the floor and looking to the back of the room. Inhale and exhale. together. Bow your head into your knees. Wrap your arms around your shins and take a breath into your back like there's a shell there that you can lift up as you inhale and release some tension as you exhale. Roll back up and down onto your floor. So take your time, maybe onto your forearms if that's an easier way for you to get down. Knees into the chest. And let your back just swing gently right to left for 2 breaths. Pausing in the center when you're done, pulling the shins apart and maybe into full happy baby. Relax your shoulders, drop into the weight of your back. 2 full breaths, expanding the lower belly. Maybe turning your head right to left. 1 more breath. I hope you enjoyed yourself, that you took what one of my friends often said to me was her yoga practice felt like a mini vacation. So I always feel like when we take time to connect to ourselves in a healthy way, that's exactly the sensations we get, the joy of a mini vacation, a release of stress within us. Good, bring your legs back together and onto the floor. Let's take a few windshield wipers here, turning your head in the opposite direction. Just unwinding as we move into our final pose of Shavasana. Inhale and exhale much slower than the breath you brought in. This helps for the body to calm down even further, moving into our rest and relax. When the knees fall to the right, let them stay there. Stretch back with both arms, pulling back on your left arm and enjoying that length on your left body. Let's try it on the other side. Knees swing up and to the left and drop, relax. Stretching both of the arms back, pulling back on your right arm and just enjoy. Inhale and exhale. Soften and bring the arms to your sides, knees up. Let's take a moment to spread our feet apart onto the edges of the mat and drop the knees towards center. So lift your tailbone, lengthen your lower back along the mat a few times, and decide if this feels like the place for you to end your practice today in constructive hip pose. So if you do have lower back issues, this is one of the best poses to come into to allow the lower body to relax even more. If you like a full extension on your legs, feel free all the way to the front corners of your mat. Arms about 30 degrees from your hips, palms up, and we're just going to gaze up as we shuffle our shoulder blades down our back and get comfortable. Some of you might like placing a blanket or your eye pillow in your eyes. Let's just wiggle our ankles and toes a few times around. And then give yourself permission to be 100% present as you let go. Close your eyes with your next exhale and soften. Swallow. Swallow again. And then relax your throat. Notice how the weight of your head feels as it safely rests on your mat. Take a moment to scan throughout you. So once you've relaxed through your head, your jaw, your face, move into the neck next, shoulders, and so on. Just compassionately noticing whatever shows up, giving yourself a moment to soften in each of those spaces that you let your mind wander to, slowly through the body. And just notice the body is getting heavier as you do so. Breath becomes effortless now. As we pause here and finish our scan, let's slowly arrive back to our breath And notice how gentle it is now, how peaceful and calm. Like a wave in a quiet ocean at night. It just gently kisses the shore and then recedes. Your breath is flowing now without effort, easy, peaceful. Take a moment to just pause in this completely restful landscape you've created and notice how easy and beautiful it feels. What feels good? Finally land in your heart. Feel a sense of ease and beauty around it. Noticing the good there. Finding gratitude there. And then let's take that good, that gratitude, and expand it into the world with your next breath. Expanding arms and legs fully. Big stretch, arms and legs. Rebending the knees when you're ready. Maybe taking your nose and taking them all the way up to those knees. We'll be rolling to one side, finding your way into a seated pose so we can bring the class to a close. Sitting up tall, maybe noticing how different, what shifts you've created as you've taken some time to invest in yourself, to pause in the tranquility of yourself. Take a deep breath with me here. Again, I'm so grateful you joined me today. I appreciate you all. And join me again soon as Leanna offers many more classes for you to enjoy. Thank you all. Namaste.